Hey, it's Russ, and today I'm going to be talking about what a hair system is made of. Now, there's two main components in making up your hair system, and that is the shell and the hair. So let's get started. There are two main types of hair systems. There's lace and skin, and then there's also a composite that uses both lace and skin. Now, I'm going to review all three of those and what are some of the pros and the cons to each. And then later on in the video, I'm going to show you my first hair system, which was actually a composite. The lace hair system is actually a mesh. There are several different types, but the most common lace hair system is what's known as French lace. Now, the benefits of lace are it's soft, it's breathable, which means that if you sweat a lot or do a lot of activities, the heat can escape from your head. It's not trapped. Your hairline can be invisible, and even if you have irregularities, you can see through the mesh, which is good. So if you are older and your hair is very thin and you get a hair system that is thin to match the rest of your hair density, someone who looks at the top of your head, even though your hair is thin, you probably won't recognize that the hair is, that's a hair system, because you actually be able to see through, they'll be able to see through to your scalp. It's not 100% clear, but it's really clear, so that you have that advantage. The hairline is, it's hard to, each one is a little bit different, but the hairline's relatively good and, you know, it's solid. The one issue, or a few issues that I have, is that if you have a time where you have to do self-repair on your hairline, I find the mesh has been a little bit more troubling because it's harder to clean the mesh and then reset the glue. So some other issues that you might have with the lace / mesh is that if you don't apply the glue evenly and you just glob it on, it could seep through, and that may cause hair from your system to stick to your scalp, which, although this is rare, it can happen. The other issue is that occasionally, sometimes where the seams meet, you may get a little bump in your mesh, and while you, the owner, might feel it, most people aren't going to recognize this. You're just going to know that it's there. If someone's running their hands through your hair, then they might notice it's there, but in general it's not that big of an issue. But mesh is usually actually probably the most popular systems that are out there, and if you want to go something that's extremely fine, the Swiss lace is extra fine. The hairlines are almost invisible. The only thing is, as you get more fine, you may run into the fact that your hair system will not last as long. And talking with some of the guys that work on my hair system, they say, you know, your lace system tends to last 10 weeks, 2.5 to 4 months. But a lot of that depends on your care. So you might have an individual result that varies. But in general, you're looking probably about, let's say, 3 months for your lace hair system. So now let's review the skin. A skin hair system is basically a polyurethane cap that goes on your head. Now, there are different thicknesses to this coating, and that impacts how the strength and the durability of your hair system. You can range from a very thin to 0.2 millimeters up to 0.8, which is very thick. And the fact is, and there's some even less and more, but the thicker the skin is, the more noticeable that your hair system could be detected or seen by other people. So the thinner it is, the better. One of the benefits of the skin is that it's very form-fitting to your head. It is soft. The front hairlines, if you get a custom system, the hairline can basically be molded exactly as you want without issue. and you're not going to break down, like you're not going to lose follicles like in a mesh hairline, like you might have it fall out the front. You are also going to have a very firm fit. Sorry, I'm looking at my notes. And in general, except for the very thin ones, your skin tends to last longer. So with proper care, if you're looking at a 3 for the lace, you might be looking at a 4 months or longer for the skin. So if you're trying to get the most out of your hair system, again, you want to probably, if you're getting one, estimate 3 months, and then if you get longer, and you're going to find this out as you wear it, as you've got to find out how you interact with your system. So what are some of the downsides of the skin? Now, some of the downsides are that if you work out a lot, if you sweat a lot, it is not breathable like the lace. If you sweat, the sweat has nowhere to go, even though in some of the skins, they do have small holes that allow for heat to escape. If you really are doing CrossFit, you're doing cardio, you're dripping with sweat at the gym, then this may not be the skin for you. Or if you work outside in the heat, like I live in Florida. So if you work outside, construction, or are out and about, and you're used to being in 90-degree heat all the time and sweating, it may not be the system for you. In fact, you may need to consider that a hair system may not be for you if you do sweat a lot, because the glue does need to adhere to your head in order for your system to stay on. Otherwise, it's going to slide, and you don't want that. So the breathability is one of the biggest issues of having a hair system. So that kind of brings me to the hair system that I got originally, which was a blend of lace and skin, and it's a hybrid. And basically it gives me the breathability that works to allow heat to escape, but it also gives me a very fine hairline. And I found that when I've had to do touch-ups with the skin, it's much easier to clean the front of a skin and reset it if I need to do it on my own. And to be honest, you're going to need to do occasionally touch-ups to your hair. So I found that I like the skin front better than the full mesh. But overall, the mesh is excellent. Actually, I'm just really enjoying my hair right now. The second one's been a lot better. It's a little bit longer, I can do more, and I better understand the system. So let's grab my first hair system and take a look. Okay, I have grabbed my first hair system. There it is. And one of the things you may be surprised is that the hair is not as thick as you would think. I mean, you can see through this. And that's because of the mesh. And the fact is, let's take a look at the mesh. The mesh was in the back of mine. So here's the mesh. And you can see, hopefully you can see it. Now, one of the things that is true about the mesh, when you do have to clean it and get the glue off, it is harder to get off. Just so you know, I do not put my hair system into a solution. The guys actually scrape the glue off, and this adds to the life of your hair system. If you watch my other video, I had this hair system for 7 months, which is really quite exceptional. So, I mean, the care that you take, rather than putting it in chemicals and letting the chemicals eat the glue away because that damages the system and reduces the life, you can extend the life. But the mesh, you know, everything is weaved together. The hair is in there. You can see through it. And, you know, it's breathable. So that's the mesh. And here is the skin. And you can see it's a little different. But for cleaning, especially up in the front, it's really good for cleaning because the glue comes right off without much effort. And you can kind of see, I don't know if you can see the hairline there. This is custom made, so it is really fine. But, you know, basically The system works really well. It allows me to get a snug fit and nice hairline, the hairline that I want, perfectly. The hairline isn't going to change over the months that I wear this. And I have the breathability of the back. So for me, this was best. What you're going to find out is that you are going to like one style or another better. So you might actually try several different styles. But for me, I think this is the style I'd like to go with. But I met with my guys yesterday. And I'm going to start testing different hair systems for them to report. So that'll be interesting. I'll let you know where you can watch the videos when we start doing that, because that will not be part of my personal channel. Okay, let's talk about the hair of a hair system. Basically, there is natural and real hair, and then there's synthetic. If you're going to invest in a hair system, you're going to want natural, real hair. And most of that comes from India. And basically, you're going to, the key is defining the color so it blends with your hair. A lot of times people get the color wrong. They think they know their hair color, but they don't. You may want to ask a stylist for, their opinion of your hair color when deciding, so you can get a proper hair system. Most of the hair comes out of India, and here's one little tip. The gray hairs are synthetic, and if you have gray hair, try and make sure you include a percentage of gray hair between 5, 10. If you're up to 50%, go 50%, because here's the one thing. Everyone thinks, few people are ever going to think that a hair system with gray hair is not your real hair. It's true. If everything is perfectly dark on the top of your head and everything on the side of your head is salt and pepper or has a percentage of gray, then all of a sudden it stands out. It doesn't even seem real. So you want to make sure you balance your system properly and include gray, which will be synthetic, and sometimes you can pull those right out, especially in the mesh, if you don't like where it's at. But the hair system, natural, you want to go with the natural hair, which usually comes out of, here's a close-up. It usually comes out of India, or sometimes Europe, Western Europe, or Eastern Europe. I think it's Eastern Europe. But it'll get dyed to match the different colors. Go to a hair professional. Ask about what color they would recommend that your hair is if you have a hair chart. Maybe they can do a system. You want to be as close to your natural color as possible, and often a lot of people get that wrong. So make sure you check that out. If you're buying your own or working, obviously if you're working with a professional or a salon or an agency or system company, they will do that for you. But if you're doing this on your own, make sure that you check that. But you want to go with a real hair, and I would say, I mean, it may not be price point, you may not be able to do the custom, but I would say you want to go with a hybrid system of mesh and skin. Well, that pretty much covers hair systems, at least what the basic makeup of the system is. You've got lace, you've got skins, and you have hybrids. And again, I think one of the basic things is that the more active you are, it'll lean you towards a mesh or lace system. But if you need a system that lasts longer, then you want to move probably towards a skin or something that's seamless. So if you're very active, a full skin may not be where you want to go. But each individual is going to have to test over time different skin. If you have any questions or want me to do any videos on a specific topic concerning hair systems, leave your comments below and subscribe, because I'm doing a whole lot of different things and would love you to help grow my channel, because I'm sharing this. I don't make anything, but maybe someday. But hopefully I'll be able to help you understand the hair system and see if it's right for you. Take care and have a good day.